Man rescues a chained wild horse, moments later receives the most surprising reaction. What transpired next left the man speechless and brought tears to his eyes. The horse, defying its reputation for unpredictability and occasional violence, leaned down vet and tenderly nuzzled his face, expressing gratitude for the assistance provided. While vacationing in the Balkan country, a man leisurely strolled through the picturesque countryside, taking in the breathtaking sights that Romania had to offer. Immersed in the tranquility and natural beauty of the place, he unwittingly transformed into a guardian angel for a horse in need. As the man strolled through the meadow, the distant sound of galloping horses reached his ears, igniting a sense of excitement within him. Although he couldn't discern their exact location, the mere thought of wild horses gracefully traversing the hills and fields of Romania filled him with wonder. Amidst his exploration, a peculiar sight caught his attention in the distance, partially concealed by the tall meadow grass. Approaching cautiously, his steps imbued with both curiosity and wariness, he drew nearer to the enigmatic presence. However, as he closed the distance, his eyes widened in astonishment, and an involuntary gasp escaped his lips. What lay before him was beyond belief. A resplendent wild horse reclined gracefully on the ground. Its coat boasted a stunning hue of dark brown, accentuated by a luscious, shaggy black mane that cascaded down its neck and along its spine. The sheer magnificence of the creature took his breath away. It was huge, too far bigger than the man had been expecting. There was something wrong though. The horse was breathing heavily, and had a distressed look in its eyes. It flailed its legs a little as the man approached, and he heard a distinctive clinking noise. This was not the picture he had painted in his mind when he had thought about seeing the wild horses roam freely in the countryside. In fact, this was the complete opposite of what he was expecting. It was an upsetting sight to say the least. The man looked down the horse's leg and noticed that it had a chain trap wrapped around them. The chains were so tight, they were restraining the poor horse from moving and looked incredibly painful. Luckily, the man was a trained veterinarian as well as an avid nature and animal enthusiast, so he knew he had to help the poor horse at all costs. Pulling out his travel knife, the man started to cut through the chains around the legs of the poor horse. He could see that the horse had clearly been there for days as he was very weak. Thankfully, the horse must have understood the man was trying to help and didn't kick or flinch as he gingerly tried to cut away or loosen the chains. One of the things that sprung to his mind was how you were able to give horses a couple of paracetamol tablets to help treat pain. In the same way that paracetamol helped with human aches and pains, it would also help with horses. The man dug into his pockets and pulled out 2 tablets, placing them in an apple that he had in his bag and feeding it to the horse, who quickly gobbled it down. As the horse swallowed the apple, the man found himself wondering how people could be so thoughtless to poor horses. The horse had done nothing wrong and now it was laid trapped. In fact, if the man hadn't come along when he did, there was a strong chance that the horse would have passed away right there where it was laid. He wondered how many other horses across Romania and other parts of the world had met a similar fate. It certainly was a sad thing that weighed on the man's heart, as he looked at the poor animal before him. He was determined to rescue the animal at any cost, hoping that the horse would soon feel the effects of the painkillers. The man went back to removing the painful-looking chains as the mighty animal just laid there and let him work. Walking in this condition would have been incredibly painful. The man knew what he had to do. Though he was worried how the horse would react, he got to work taking out the chains one at a time. The distressed horse initially exhibited signs of agitation, vocalizing its distress and moving its body with slight thrashes. However, it gradually settled down, allowing the man to resume his task. With utmost care and gentleness, He spent over half an hour meticulously removing the chains from each of the horse's back hooves. Although the horse remained visibly in pain, the man hoped that it understood his intentions were purely to offer aid. The administration of paracetamol might have started to alleviate the excruciating discomfort the animal endured. Eventually, the moment arrived when all traces of chains and snares were successfully eliminated, granting the horse complete freedom. The man used a few bottles of water to cleanse the wounds, diligently tending to them as best as he could. Though appearing menacing, the wounds did not appear infected to the man's discerning eye. With a sigh of relief, the horse exuded a sense of calm and tranquility, liberated from the wretched chains that had ensnared it. Stepping back, the man observed in awe as the majestic horse gradually rose to its feet. He attentively monitored the wounds, reassured that they would not cause lasting harm. Remarkably, the horse seemed to experience minimal discomfort now. However, what transpired next left the man speechless and brought tears to his eyes. The horse, defying its reputation for unpredictability and occasional violence, leaned down Vet and tenderly nuzzled his face, expressing gratitude for the assistance provided. The man chuckled warmly, stroking the horse's head with affection. Suddenly, the horse took several steps backward and reared up on its hind legs, emitting a triumphant neigh that resonated in the air. Its mane danced and fluttered in the wind before gracefully descending to the ground with a resounding thud. As the man wiped away his tears, he, too, turned to walk away, profoundly moved by the encounter. The memory of this extraordinary bond would forever be etched in his heart.